Hey guys, welcome to a recap of Summer House Martha's Vineyard, episode 6, Naked Ambition. Guys, we open up the episode at the dinner hosted by Bria and Simon and all the guests. The crewmates, they are, happy and enjoying their new gifts. So Silas, he gives a toast recognizing the importance of a partnership and the beauty in marriage. But then we get to see Jasmine's take, and she reflects saying that marriage is difficult for her because she feels like she has isolated herself from her single friends, and she's not liking that. And the friends, particularly Jordan and Bria, they are watching and taking note, and they are nodding like yes in agreement because they know a completely different Jasmine before she was married to Silas. So, before in the previous episode, Jasmine and Jordan kind of had a situation where Jordan was feeling a kind of way of how Jasmine feels like it's important to be in a relationship or you're not going to be complete, whereas she appreciates her singleness and appreciation of herself, and that's where she's good at. So, Jasmine is having a hard time because she wants to still be able to relate and connect with her single friends. So the whole table is appreciating Jasmine being real and being open and not this motherly figure. She's being herself. And we want to see yourself, Jasmine. I think yourself is your best self. So that's what we want to see. So we get Jason's kind of input, and he's just going on and on and on. And everyone in the cast is pretty patient with Jason, but luckily we have a Bria. Bria, she cuts him short and says, "Get to the point. Let's resolve." And guys, the dinner is over, and everyone is happy and in their good place. They're heading back to the house, so everyone's having side conversations. Talking about what Jasmine just revealed and how they feel about Silas and that whole situation. Everyone in the house thinks Silas is controlling. I feel like he has controlling tendencies, but I do think Jasmine is still her own woman, and we are, seeing her manage between marriage life and, her previous life, her identity. So I think it's just, just the beginning, getting used to the whole situation. But I believe this couple is a cute little couple because I love that after every night, no matter what, the Coopers are making love in bed. So, guys, now Bria has Simon home with her, and it's time for her to make love and make up all the noise to compete with the Coopers. Tell me why Simon said not tonight because my stomach is full, and I could completely understand, completely relate, and I thought that was such a hilarious moment. But the Coopers do not let us down. The Coopers, they show up and they show out, y'all. So that's what I know what we're gonna get in after every episode at night. The Coopers are gonna be making love, okay? So it's day 10. And remember, they're here for 15 days, so we're cutting close to the end of vacation for the crew. But do not worry, Shanice is gonna carry us out to the end of this season. So I'm so excited for Shanice to come back because that girl is full of drama and she gave drama this whole episode. I'm telling you, Summer House, Martha's Vineyard is killing it their first season. I'm so shocked. I'm impressed because I actually look forward to watching Summer House. I just got over watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. Check out the recap, it's in the playlist. And I was just so bummed how the girls are letting us down at Atlanta. But thank you for Martha's Vineyard for showing up and showing out on your first season. Amazing. So it's day 10, and Jason, he wants to talk with Jasmine about last night, and he's just, appreciating her being open because he feels like the house actually benefits from Jasmine keeping it real, keeping it open. Silas, he says that he respects Jasmine's independence, but he then brings up how she burns his breakfast, and you could tell he is bothered. And this is gonna be something that comes up later. So it's like, ugh, Silas, we want to love you, but sometimes your tendencies are tendencying, and we want you just to chill and love on our girl Jasmine, okay? So Jasmine and Jordan then go off to have girl talk. And I think this was a much needed talk because Jordan asked a good question that every friend should do. They should do a check-in. They should ask their friend, am I being a friend for you, or how can I improve as a friend? So Jasmine, she says, I want you guys to show up for me as I show up for you, because she needs it sometime. And clearly she does. We all need it. We all need someone to at least check in to make sure we're okay. So I'm glad they had this talk to really communicate and kind of work on their friendship, because from the looks of it, it looks a little bit rocky. They've been in some kind of funk in their friendship, but I'm glad they're talking and addressing things to move forward progressively. So Jasmine wants girl moments, y'all, and Jordan is here to give girl moments. So she's gonna check in on your girl Jasmine, and I'm happy that they're onwards to a better friendship. So now it's time for the whole commotion. Shanice is back in the house, y'all. Shanice is back in the house. Shanice is back in the house. So she comes in, and she sees that Jason is here, and she let us know that she's known Jason from previous trips at Martha's Vineyard. She lets us know that he had a crush on her, but she didn't really reciprocate those feelings. And she also sees Alex, but it's kind of a lukewarm hello, because remember, Bria had told Shanice what Alex said to her. And Alex, was keeping his distance away from Shanice because what he heard about Shanice and the stalker situation. So Shanice feels some kind of way because she feels like she shouldn't be judged based on what you heard online, as anyone should understand and relate. But she's starting to distance herself from him. But they need to address these things, okay? So now Shanice and Bria are together and happy, and Simon is now here in the house. Now, we learn how Simon understands the dynamic between Shanice and Bria. So how he understands the dynamic is that Shanice and Bria have done OnlyFans together, but it's not what you guys think. It's not like the whole situation in and out, that type of situation, X-rated. It's more taking pictures, very model-esque, that type of situation. But we'll see. I don't know. After seeing these girls and their shenanigans, it makes me wonder if there was more, if there was more. But anywho, the crew house move on and enjoying their own time. And then there was a situation where Milo, he pooped on the floor. Now, Silas, he sees this. No, Silas doesn't see this. Summer sees this and tells the other crew. And the other crew is like, how are we going to address this? Who's going to say something to her? Silas makes it clear that he does not want to be the one to say something to Bria. He has already been the one to kind of put the hammer down on Bria. He doesn't want to be the bad guy, especially after receiving Versace watches for him and his wife. Okay, he wants to be on good terms with Bria and Simon. So he tells Preston, why don't you go do it? And Preston says he doesn't want no parts of it at all, and it actually doesn't bother him, which is a great way to get yourself out of such responsibility. So eventually we have Nick, who goes and tell Bria, hey, you got dog poop, you gotta check it out. And Bria immediately goes and address that and cleans it up. So I'm so fortunate for that, because I don't want another tiff, another situation with Bria, especially after a nice dinner that she's hosted with Simon. So now it's girl talk, and Jordan is telling the girls we should have like a girls' night out, and it's gonna be focusing on Jasmine. This is her girls' night, and we're gonna have her have fun. So I was super happy with that. And then aside from that, the girls they talk about Jordan and Amir, and Jordan makes it very clear that her and Jordan is not going to be a situation. She is not interested at all. And I am so hurt, because I really did like Amir and Jordan type of situation. But if it's not a thing, then it's not a thing. We can't push it. We can't press it. So, we get into a little bit about um how Shanice addresses is going to address situation with Alex. The girls want her to at least talk to Alex to clear the air because she's trying to distance herself from him, but the group do not want her to distance herself from him. Because it kind of spills over to other friendships, and it kind of sets off the vibe. So I can understand this. But Shanice shares with us what that rumor, that online article did to her in her life. She had suffered from bullying, stalking, threats, all because of a rumor. Now, she did say some of it was true, but the way it was magnified for 5 months, that y'all was doing too much. Let the girl be. I know some of y'all stalk your man, okay? So I don't see a person deserving of 5 months of being threatened and harassed. So, yes, I'm so glad that, the girls are pushing her to address her situation head on instead of avoiding it. Because I don't think if it's going to be a long term friendship, a lasting friendship, y'all need to talk. Y'all need to address what bothers you. So that's important. So it's going to be the girls' night, and the boys are going to have boys' night with Simon. So the guys are out in guys' night and they are engaging with Simon, but for some reason they're not understanding what Simon is saying. So they kind of laugh and nod and move forward. And I'm just so happy that they're including Simon, especially after him gifting watches to them. But I do think those watches are a part of what he does for a living, because he was saying a little bit what he does for a living and it had something to do with watches. So I wonder if it's just like, kind of like, the stuff that he had in back stock. He said, oh, I could give that away and do a write-off or something like that. So I don't blame him. They were happy. They received it. So I just like that the guys are embracing Simon. And I think we're going to see Simon for the rest of the trip. I can imagine them, kicking Simon, say, oh, you have to find other arrangements. I don't think so. I think he's here to stay. So now the guys are trying to guess what the girls are doing. And Preston makes it very clear it's so easy. They're twerking and taking shots. And yes, they were twerking and taking shots. So, Silas' face kind of changed a little bit. He's checking his phone, the tracker, to see everything's okay. And they kind of have this moment where they're talking about how their relationship is off during vacation. Silas likes, a schedule. He likes a routine. Now, when it's vacation, things are off, and he brings up the burnt breakfast, and the guys are like, are you serious? It's not that deep. Because I believe they know Jasmine is a good girl, and they see that Silas is exaggerating things. He's doing too much. You're making us look at you like you're super, super controlling when you know you are. I don't know. I feel like there's a reason why he acts like this. And I can kind of see that, it's coming from his military background and having structure. But you met Jasmine as a single woman. You should have understand her and her needs, and not understand, oh, it's all only gonna be about you and your schedule. It should be in our schedule, okay? I want to hear our schedule, not your schedule. So the guys are kind of giving him some issues with that, but it's interesting that Jason, he sticks up because that's his friend. Jason sticks up for Jasmine, and Silas says this interesting point. He's like, oh, he doesn't know if Jason can get a woman. I thought that was hilarious because Jason has a newborn. So clearly he knows how to get a woman, and get a woman pregnant, okay? And so that leads to a topic where Jason brings up all the things that he goes through in life, where he has judgments passed on to him based on how he looks. And I can tell Jason is the type to talk on and on and on and on because he was getting to a point, but then the conversation switches over, and we have these ladies sending shots to the guy's table. And one of the shots was for Silas. So everyone is telling Silas, oh, no, you can't take no shot. Not you. Not you, the one who was telling the ladies not to take shots when they go out. And he's ready to drink it. Silas is such a hypocrite. And his friends are holding him accountable. They are like calling him out. So I like that the guys, they don't let Silas have it easy and say what he wants without, some sort of response. So the girls are getting wasted. We see girls' night, and the girls are going hard. They are twerking. They're taking shots. Twerking and taking shots. This is a girls' night. This is such a girls' night. And it gets to a point where the ladies, they have to leave, and Jordan is like, I'm the only one in control. Like, she's in control with who she is, unlike Silas, who was saying that she wouldn't be unable to handle herself after a certain hour. But I feel like, Silas is hard on these girls, and Jordan, I just like that she's kind of like the voice of reason in the situation here. So she allows her girls to have fun, to let loose, because this was a night for Jasmine to, embrace her woman and her girlfriends. So the girls are heading back to the car, and they are just drunk. They get back to the home, and they are ready to have more fun part two. I thought the fun ends here, but they have a part two where everyone is dancing, having fun. Shanice, she wants to get topless. She gets topless. They want to get in the water. They go skinny dipping, and there is just complete mayhem. So then when the guys get home, they see the whole space look like war. Okay, it looks like war. So she feels like, so all the girls are in the hot tub and they're relaxing. The guys, they join in, and the ladies, they tell them, oh, go get in your swim trunks and come to the water. And so when they do, Shanice, she gets super comfortable and asks Simon, oh, do you mind if I get naked? And then Simon says, oh, it's up to Bria. Ask Bria. But he should have said no. He should have said no. Why didn't you say no? And then when she gets naked, you see Jason all excited. He's like looking. He's like, oh my God, we have a woman here. He is looking and following her, looking at her, looking up her butt. I'm like, sir. And then, oh my God, when Bria comes out and sees this, when Bria comes out and sees this, I'm nervous. Because, Bria has done a lot in the house, okay? But this, she is, I can understand how she can feel a kind of way, because who wants someone naked in front of their man? Like, who wants that? So she goes back into the house and she tells Silas what's going on. And Silas is like, are you gonna do something? Like, what are you gonna do? I don't even like how you're walking. So Bria heads back to the pool and addresses Shanice. And Shanice is like, what? She's like, what? So confused. And Bria yells at Shanice, and Simon follows Bria back into the house. He's feeling bad, and it's good that he follows her back into the house because she was so mad. She was so mad. So Bria is out ready to kick Simon out. Everyone has at one point kicked Simon out the house. Simon, I would have a room on standby just in case for this trip. But Summer is not seeing it as a big deal because, Bria was naked with Shanice. She's like not understanding the big deal. But the crew, they call it a night, as they should, because they were doing too much. So the Coopers, they go and they talk about, they go to bed, and before they go to bed, they talk about the drink that Silas received, that it could have been drugged. And, since they were having issues, Jasmine, she's like, that means we have to go have sex in the closet. And he's like, in the closet. So I like the Coopers. The Coopers, they're all right. They're really cool. So now we see over at Bria and Simon. And Simon is like trying to get it on. And Bria's like, no. No, she wants nothing to do with it. So I thought that was hilarious because that's second night, back to back, no action for Bria and Simon. So now it's day 12. Woo, time is going by fast, okay? So Bria wants to yell at everyone early in the morning. She goes and talks to Nick. She goes and talks to Summer. She goes and talks to Preston. And Preston is like, you seem to be like in the middle of everybody's problems. Do you think you're the problem? And she's like, no, everyone comes for me. Everyone comes for me. I am not the problem. Then she goes and talks to her mom, Mrs. Ty. Miss Ty said, it's not a big deal, honey. And no one is backing up Bria, and I thought that was like, oh, let Milo stick up for Bria. So no one pays no mind, no attention to Bria, and it's on to the next issue. So the crew is deciding what to do, and Alex, Amir, Jordan, Shanice are playing tennis today. But it's not a double date, y'all. It's not a double date. It's just a friend date. The friends want to get together and do friend things, okay? So Jasmine and Silas and Preston, they are gonna be preparing for the rose party. So now Bria, she's up in her room all mad, protesting the whole house. If she don't eat, it's supposed to affect everybody else in the house. So she is in her room and she's even avoiding Simon a little bit. Simon is trying to make up with her. I'm like, don't do that to Simon. Simon, this is second day here, okay? So Jason is helping Silas prepare for the rose party. They're bringing out the tables outside the house, and Silas is just micromanaging the whole situation, which sets off Jason. And then Silas brings up how this has to do with his military background to understand him and not take it in such offense. So it's a whole thing, it's a whole tiff. I just wonder if this conflict between Jason and Silas is gonna keep building, because this is like two for two now. They having issues that center around the topic of control. So I feel like it's gonna come to a head at some point. I'm just nervous about that because I don't want that. I don't, not this, not a fight about control. Okay. So everyone is getting ready to go to the rose party. Okay. So at the rose party, everyone is looking great. Everyone's looking fine. Silas is regulating Jasmine's outfit. Alex is complimenting Jordan's thickness. And Bria is still refusing and she's still protesting to even show up to the damn event, y'all. She is not into it at all. But as everyone is coming along, to the table, we see a conversation between Alex and Jordan. And Alex brings up how, Amir kind of called dibs on Jordan when they first got into the house, which made all the other guys kind of hesitant to talk to her, to get to know her. And she feels that, that's their fault, why they just think that she's the person that you can just claim. She has autonomy. And so Alex is sharing that, that's not going to happen anymore. Everyone is like, more open now and more receptive to develop friendships. So I feel like soon we're going to see a little talk with Amir and Jordan soon. So I'm nervous about that, y'all. But the highlight of the show was that everyone is sitting at the table getting ready for the rose party to start. And Shanice, she just goes at the balcony of the house, topless, and she tells everyone, wait for me, guys, don't forget me. And she's topless, and Simon is down there just watching. And I'm like, oh no, wait till Bria finds out about this. And oh my god, this show was so jam-packed with a lot to look forward, a lot going on. I see and can predict many conflicts to come up, first between Silas and Jason, Alex and Amir and Jordan. Shanice has resolved her situations with Jordan, so they are good. Preston, he stays clear from the drama. Preston is like chilling and relaxing on vacation, and I'm looking forward. We heard that Nick is bringing his girlfriend to the house, so I want to see the secret, not so secret girlfriend, which it's gonna give. So stay tuned to that. But y'all keep on watching Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, because it's really holding us for Bravo. A good show, a new show by that fact. So guys, as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate every one of you, and thank you for subscribing. It means so much to me. And as always, share as much kindness as possible. Love you guys. I love you, love you, love you.